We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Scottsdale, Arizona.
Today, Jill and I talk about the story of two broker opinions. In life, sometimes brokers don't agree.
It's funny. It's funny
Sometimes
how you reach
couples
out.
don't agree.
Not us. Other couples.
No, it's peaches and cream with Jill
Always.
every minute.
Stephen, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the way you just cheerily jump out of bed every morning and are always just smiling, never serious. Just kidding.
Especially during the COVID.
Yeah. Oh, that was my favorite time. I love that quality time we got to spend together.
Nobody likes work, Steve.
No.
Especially Jill.
Exactly. I get to see it all.
Everybody loves drinking, Steve,
Oh, yeah.
but not.
And
Work,
spending Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, and rewarding Steve. And like, sure, why not? Buy it, Steve. Okay.
Before we get into today, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's completely free. And if you're already a member, please join us on Discord. It's a blast.
Austin wrote, Flood apocalypse.
This is the title of his question, Floodpocalypse.
I love it. What do you folks do regarding your due diligence for floodplains? I found some info for the following designations. Holy moly.
Read it, Jill. Read it.
AAE, A1 through A30, AHAO, AR, A99, VVE, V1 through 30. It's Greek to me.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. So
Not really.
if there's anything floody that comes up, do you pass or does it depend? Also, please share what tools you use. Thanks, Austin. This is very sweet. So Lori very nicely wrote, hey, Austin, as a rule of thumb, regulatory floodplains are unusable.
Yep.
Other designations have varied implications depending on the place. I do a quick check using the FEMA flood map overlay, which you can find in neighborscoop.com. And it's available on the FEMA.gov site, I believe, to see what others have done with land in the same flood designation areas. Is there a house? Is there a barn? Mobile, crops, boat tied up to a fence? If I want to pursue the property, I'll call the county and find out what the requirements are, if any, to build in the floodplain. You didn't mention wetlands. There's still a hope if the property's in the floodplain. Wetlands, hopeless. Best, Lori.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All of it.
Yep. Now, Kevin says don't mess with it. But,
Kevin, the moderator, says one short sentence, don't mess with it.
so I guess
They're both completely right.
So it depends on what it is for me. Like, so for example, I use neighborscoop.com. I have it open all day, every day. So a property comes in, I pull up on Neighborscoop, and that's one of the things that I go through my quick little 5-minute phase one due diligence. And I'll see if it falls in a floodplain. And then I'll start on, like, say it's a light purple. And so I'm like, all right, what else has been built in light purple? And when was it built? Because that's the beauty of Neighborscoop. I can click on it and go, all right, this is in a floodplain. But look, here's a house that was just built or a barn or something in 2010. I can see it I pulled up the property history, so it's no big deal. And they solved it. Maybe they had to build up a couple inches. Maybe they had to do a certain type of foundation. Maybe they had to, there's usually it's something like that. If you can find a situation like I just noted, if you find a bunch of houses built in 1921 and they're falling down and maybe they're not even existent anymore, then I've got some concerns. But then either way, to solve it all together, and you can see on Neighborscoop, I can see what designation it is. I can see what the purple area is and the blue areas and the green areas. I can see all that. So I could call the county and just say, hey, I've got this information with a FEMA flood map overlay. What do I need to know to build here?
Here's the whole key to floodplain issues. It's what are your neighbors doing? The entire city of Phoenix is in a floodplain. I mean, the entire city.
It's
Does it
funny
ever
when you look
flood?
at
No.
that.
No, it never floods. Do Jill and I own houses right smack in the middle of the Phoenix floodplain?
Yeah.
Heck yes. And if you have to, if you get a lender, there's a whole large section that you have to sign off on.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly.
You know what's funny? It's not much different than I was just thinking about our beach house. So the place at the beach is in a tsunami zone.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, there's tsunami signs everywhere. And I remember when we first lived there, I'm like, that's kind of weird. And sure enough, we did nothing special but get special. I had to get special insurance west of the PCH in the tsunami zone. We had to have a different kind of insurance for the house. That was it. Isn't that funny? No building. There might be, this house was also built in the 90s. There's probably new and current building, tweaks, if you will. But we're all still building there and we're all still living there.
Relativity is the whole key to the floodplain issues. Today's topic, the story of two broker opinions. This is why you're listening. I'm going to set Jill up in the form of a question here.
Okay.
You have a piece of property.
Right.
You love it. You love the price. The seller loves you. This is a typical work day in Jill's world.
Okay.
And you're buying it for $30,000 and you think it's probably easily worth 60 to 80,
Okay.
maybe 100, but you want to sleep well at night. So you call a broker and the broker says, you call two brokers. The first broker says, oh yeah, I love that area. We just sold a property there. I can easily get you about $80,000 for this property in 2 weeks, probably worth 100. You're still not satisfied because you're Jill. Then you call a completely different broker in a completely different brokerage because you saw her picture on the side of a bus.
And she looked nice.
She has a beehive haircut, beehive hairdo, and little cat eye glasses. And she's got a Chanel suit from the 70s. She's in the picture because that's what she chose for the photo shoot. And she says,
I hope it's what's that blue? What's that? Seersucker. I hope it's seersucker.
and she says, I'm a housewife. Therefore, and a realtor on the side. Therefore, I know everything. Why are you even calling me, asking me these silly questions? No one goes out there. Why would you ever buy a piece of property? Absolutely not. I hate that county. Who do you believe?
Oh my gosh. Look, here's the whole point of this, So I need to answer it this way because I was thinking about this. This came up the other day on one of our calls because we had a member that said, I don't know what to do. Call this guy. He said, it's awesome. It's great. Let's list it for 49. I'm sure it's going to move fast. The other guy got back to me and says, oh, I hate it. Maybe 1920. I don't know. I think that's all you're going to get for it. And he's like, well, what the heck? Who do I believe? So my response is, number one, if you don't know the area, call a third guy. We need a tiebreaker and also doing your homework. So I'm going to argue this point, and I've been correct on this point. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm really looking hard at the area. I can really get in there, and you can too. And we do this every week on our calls with showing people how to do this, showing you how to do this, to dig in and really try to find property for sale right now today, and hopefully some sold comps too, really super close to that property. And what's so great about land now, more than ever in the past, we're getting more and more up-to-date information. And maybe because too, I remember years ago, good luck finding a land broker. I didn't really know any land brokers. I couldn't find any. And now, they're popping up all over the place, and it's a thing. Used to be, it was a real, person that would do houses, and then maybe they dabble on land. They never really got excited about it. And that could be possible too in this situation. Are you talking to a land person? That's my first thought.
If you go to landwatch.com or landandfarm.com, either one's fine. I would start with Landwatch. And you pull up the county or even the zip code where the property is that you're considering buying. You're going to see a guy on there who's advertising. It's going to pop up before any of the comparison values, either sold or active. He's going to have a cowboy hat on, and he's going to say, I am the resident area land expert. I've done 35 deals this year already. And then you're going to see right below him 12 listings that are hopefully like-kind property like yours. That guy's qualified to answer your question.
I look for sold. Look and see what's really he's done and sold. Even in Zillow, you can find these people. You have to dig to make sure that they're land specific sometimes, but you'll find them. I totally agree. So what do I do? Let's just go back to the whole story. What do you do? I honestly, I'm usually calling. I kind of know. I'm usually reaching out to a broker either at the very, very, very beginning of a transaction because I don't know the area at all, or I'm at the very, very end of the transaction. I'm about to close and I'm trying to maybe find someone to market the property for me and make sure we're on the same page and get one last pair of eyes on it because I'm not there. So I'm having a conversation. You need to have a conversation with these people. That's the best way around this, and find out who really knows what we're talking about. And I do believe get a third one. If you reach out to at least 3 people, 1 or 2 is going to get back to you. And then of those 2, 1 will rise to the top that you're going to connect with often. If you're really seeking out land specific focused brokers, that's what I want.
God, Steve, what do you have against housewives? Nothing.
Or Chanel. I don't know what you have against Chanel.
Against housewives. I don't think they may not be the most qualified person to give you an opinion about rural vacant land. That's it.
Okay.
Maybe they are, though. Maybe they live right next door. I don't know. They could be.
That's Steven's.
We don't like real estate agents in general.
Funny way of sourcing who's legit and who knows what they're doing, which I understand. The guy with cowboy boots walking the property and has an ATV in the back of his truck because he needs to get out and see all 10 acres and he's going to really try to get eyes on it is a little bit different than the lady who's reviewing it from her cell phone while she's getting her nails done.
Amen, sister.
Sorry.
And I'll tell you what, that guy with the ATV in his F-150, he didn't choose that career. It chose him.
Right.
He's got land in his soul. And that's who you want on your team.
It's true. I understand. And those guys exist, by the way. They're awesome. They show up with ATVs or horses and they take people out and look at them sometimes. It's really, really cool. And those are my favorite guys because not only do they love the land and love what they do and they really get into it, but they get these buyers falling in love with the property and they move property because of all those reasons. It's really cool. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called Land Academy Members. Overall deal quality is now amazing. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. I am shocked and amazed every Thursday when we review our members' deals. We have a closed Zoom call with all the members who want to attend. And it's 3 hours, almost 3 hours every week now. It started, it was a half hour.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just jam-packed with, would you do this deal? That somebody coined that phrase quite a few years ago. And so Jill and I and some other people, senior members in the group, give our opinions. And every single, now it's like, specifically this year, I don't know what, something changed and for the better that.
Is it the cream quality, rising to the top? The people?
Well, I'll tell you what I think. Let's save it for the show tomorrow.
Okay, cool. All right. If you're interested in learning more about us or what we do, check out landacademy.com or houseacademy.com. We provide the education, tools, and support you need to be flipping property like the pros. We're Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.